Charles Robert Redford Jr. was born in Santa Monica, California in 1936. To the world, he would one day become the Sundance Kid, the rebel filmmaker behind the Sundance Film Festival, and the last of Hollywood's great matinee idols. But before the fame, his life was anything but glamorous. Raised by working-class parents, Redford struggled with discipline, often clashing with authority. He admitted later that he was a troubled teen, prone to drinking and searching for meaning. In post-war America, after a short-lived college career, Redford drifted into art, studying painting in Europe. But destiny pulled him back to the stage. By the late 1950s, he was in New York, chasing acting classes and bit parts on television. His talent and his undeniable looks soon opened doors that would change his life forever. In the 1960s and 70s, Redford became the face of a new kind of leading man, rugged yet thoughtful, charismatic yet mysterious. He wasn't just an actor, he was a cultural symbol. Yet behind the dazzling smile and Hollywood glamour, Redford kept his personal life hidden. Very few ever knew what was happening in the private world of the man nicknamed the Golden Boy. And it is within that hidden world that the story of his greatest love begins. Soft piano music plays, old press clippings and tabloid headlines about Redford's romances appear on screen, photos of him with his first wife Lola, then clips alongside co-stars like Natalie Wood, Jane Fonda, and Barbra Streisand. In 1958, long before he was a star, Redford married Lola Van Wagenen, a young Mormon activist from Utah. Their marriage was one of youthful hope and determination. Together they built a family, 4 children in all. But tragedy struck early. In 1959, their infant son Scott died suddenly, a loss that Redford later described as devastating. The couple remained together for nearly 3 decades, weathering fame, personal grief, and the relentless demands of Hollywood. Yet by 1985, their marriage came to an end. Despite the divorce, Redford has always spoken of Lola with respect, acknowledging her profound influence on his life. During his career, Redford was frequently linked to his co-stars. His chemistry with Natalie Wood in Inside Daisy Clover sparked rumors of a romance, one that some claimed continued off-screen. With Jane Fonda, he shared not just the screen, but a lifelong friendship, starring in films like Barefoot in the Park and The Electric Horseman. Barbra Streisand, too, once joked that their on-screen passion in The Way We Were felt real. Redford's natural intensity made every partnership seem believable, sometimes too believable. Later in life, Redford found companionship again. In 2009, he married Sibylle Sagars, a German painter nearly 2 decades his junior. Together, they built a quiet life away from the spotlight in New Mexico. For the public, it seemed Redford had found peace. But in his heart, there remained one woman he could never forget. A woman he would finally name decades later, when he was 88 years old. And it was not Sibylle, not Lola, nor any of his glamorous co-stars. It was someone else. The confession that stunned the world is what comes next. Opening shot, archival footage of Redford walking with Natalie Wood on the set of Inside Daisy Clover. The camera freezes on their smiling faces. Fans and historians have long debated who held Robert Redford's heart above all others. Was it Natalie Wood, the tragic Hollywood beauty whose life ended too soon? Was it his first wife, Lola Van Wagenen, the mother of his children and his anchor during the storm of fame? Or was it someone outside the glare of the Hollywood spotlight altogether? Of all the rumors, the name Natalie Wood is mentioned most often. She and Redford shared an electric connection both on and off screen. In Inside Daisy Clover, and later This Property is Condemned, their intimacy felt startlingly real. Decades later, Redford admitted that he and Wood shared a bond that went deeper than acting, one of trust, laughter, and a rare understanding of the pressures of fame. Yet the timing was never right. Wood was married to Robert Wagner, then to Richard Gregson, and their lives ran parallel rather than together. When Wood died tragically in 1981, Redford was said to be shaken, retreating into silence about what she had meant to him. Others believe it was Lola, the woman who knew him before the fame, who stood beside him through heartbreak, and who gave him the stability he craved. To Redford, Lola represented authenticity. She wasn't Hollywood. She was home. Even after their divorce, friends say Redford always carried a deep respect, and perhaps an unspoken love, for her. But in recent years, Redford himself clarified the truth. In a rare, reflective moment, he revealed the woman who, despite marriages and countless on-screen romances, remained the greatest love of his life. It was not just about passion or glamour, but about something deeper, something lasting. For Redford, love was not defined by Hollywood. It was defined by the woman he could never stop thinking about, even at 88 years old. Opening shot, Robert Redford, older and weathered, seated in a quiet interview setting. His silver hair, soft eyes, and deliberate pauses remind us we are hearing from a man reflecting on a lifetime of triumphs and regrets. In recent years, as Robert Redford stepped further away from Hollywood and into retirement, he began to open up about the past. At 88, with nothing left to prove, he shared a confession that stunned even his closest fans. For decades, speculation swirled around his romances, but in a quiet conversation, he finally spoke the truth. There had been one woman, above all others, who had been the love of his life. Redford admitted that while his marriages shaped him, and while his friendships with actresses like Jane Fonda and Meryl Streep inspired him, it was Natalie Wood who remained closest to his heart. He described her as a rare soul, vulnerable yet strong, haunted yet luminous. He said she made him laugh in ways no one else ever had, and that their bond was built not on scandal or passion, but on trust. For Redford, Natalie was the one who understood the cost of fame, because she bore the same weight herself. In his confession, Redford revealed that Natalie's tragic death left him with a profound sense of loss. He confessed that part of him always wondered what their lives might have been if fate had been kinder. At 88, he finally said aloud what many suspected for decades. Natalie Wood was the love he could never let go. Pause. Slow piano music underscores the moment. The screen lingers on Redford's older face, eyes cast downward as if reliving memories too heavy to share in full. But Redford's confession was not one of scandal. It was one of longing. He didn't speak to shock. He spoke to honor. After a lifetime of silence, he chose to remember Natalie not as a lost opportunity, but as a love that defined his heart forever.